Welcome to Pioneer Support, here to ensure you stay fix-it compliant and production efficient by answering your questions. Today's question is from Pioneer EDMI 590. They ask, what's the point of going to turbo fuel anyway? I'm just curious because I don't see the need for it. Can't you just keep using regular fuel? Yeah, there's a reason that turbo fuel is one of the best recipes in the game. We'll get into that, but first, please like and subscribe. Failure to subscribe may result in reduced efficiency, increased spaghetti, and worst of all, disappointing Wilbur. So all my maps, blueprints, and more, 5 years worth of 5 years worth of Satisfactory maps are at patreon.com/pioneer support. And if you have a question, leave it in the comments, and I'll do my best to make a video response to your question. So turbo fuel. Well, I've made this little demo setup here. On this one side we have regular fuel. On this side we have turbo fuel. So let's get the thing running here real quick. Get power to these unpackagers here. So we got the regular fuel going to this one, and then we've got turbo fuel going into this one. So let's take a look at this guy. Okay, so they're both making the same amount of power. If you notice, right, this is when I turned on the first one, this is when I turned on the second one. So they're both making 250 megawatts of power, but this was doing it at 20 cubic meters per minute. All right, remember that number. So now let's look at this one. This one's making it 7.5 cubic meters per minute. What does that mean? Well, that means that turbo fuel, you could run the same amount of turbo fuel as regular fuel and power 4 times the amount of generators, right? Because that guy over there was 30. If you divide that by 7.5, look, you could actually power 3 additional generators if you just convert your existing fuel generators and then add some more to turbo fuel. What does that allow you to do? Well, things like this, something like this. So this is a giant turbo fuel power plant. Now, if you notice those yellow machines right there, they're making the fuel from the local supply of oil. These guys back there are making the turbo fuel that's made by combining compacted coal from over there. The compacted coal is made using the coal from down below and the sulfur from right here. So by doing that, it has now quadrupled the power that you can produce out of the oil nodes right here. So let's say that I wanted to make the same amount of power by fuel generators without using turbo fuel. Well, then I'd have to somehow find 3 times as many sources for fuel to fill all these machines, right? So that would be kind of a huge Herculean task. You would have to move heaven and earth, first of all, to get it here, or you'd have to make multiple fuel generator power plants all over the map near oil. So I think you start to see how powerful it is. First of all, you can also make a regular, which I did, make a regular fuel power plant first, just with like 1 row of these, kind of set that all up. And then when you unlock turbo fuel, you've already got the basic infrastructure. You've just got to add that last component. You've got to change the fuel going into those fuel generators from regular fuel to turbo fuel. And then all of a sudden, you've got a lot of excess fuel that you can now use to create a ton of extra power. So that's the power of turbo fuel. So hope you liked this. Please, if you found it valuable, please like and subscribe. Also, if you have a question, of course, leave it in the comments. I'd love to answer it in a future video. And if you'd really like to support this channel, get 5 years of my maps and blueprints, go to patreon.com and Pioneer Support. Have a great one.